outside in an AMG, right outside, PT, two-turn baby girl, you know me.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Tay TV. This is where I share my very crazy, very spontaneous, ADD influenced 20-somethings, okay? Figuring this whole life thing out, pretty much doing what I want and influencing other people to do the same. I know you're probably wondering what qualifies me to give anybody advice on moving to Dallas. Nothing. Oh, other than the fact that I moved here 2 years ago, no job, no money saved up, no real plan. Right during the height of the panini, I randomly drove to Dallas, toured 3 apartments, picked one, and then 2 weeks later, I moved. If you want the full story on that, I do have another video. I'll link it right here. But in that video, I share kind of like some tips on how I moved. I kind of go through my whole entire process. A lot has changed since I moved to Dallas, so I wanted to kind of give my updated opinion on moving to Dallas in 2022. Whew. I can't believe that that's an actual year. Like, it's 2022. In kindergarten, that felt so far away. I always like to describe Dallas as the perfect workplace city. There's so many job opportunities, career opportunities, business opportunities, networking opportunities, and it's just a great place to have fun too. Living in Dallas is kind of how I pictured my life to be when I got older. Working in a high-rise office, going to happy hour with coworkers, having a bunch of lady nights with the girl.
Should I go with the black? The black? Or the black?
The black. Definitely the black.
You're right. I should go with the purple.
For me, Dallas has been all of that and more, so let's get into some stuff. Let's talk about one of the most important topics, apartments. Like, where you gonna lay your head at? Yeah, let's get into it. When I first moved to Dallas, my very first apartment was only $11.80. That was 1 bedroom, 1 bath, came with a washer and dryer, very modern, luxury living, super nice, spacious. I think it was like 683 square feet. And if you know me, I don't like huge spaces because I like to be able to see everything. I'm living by myself. I get a little paranoid. What can I say? I watch too much true crime. But the apartment was so nice. I loved it. The only reason why I moved from that apartment was because it was too far from like downtown, too far from the majority of the places that I frequented all the time. So I wanted to move closer to the city. So my second apartment that I just signed for, well, I just moved into last August. Yeah, this past August. Rent for that apartment was $12.72. That's what I signed as. $12.72. Just to give you some insight on how the rent prices have changed, that same apartment that I just signed for at $12.72 is now $1,700. I think not. I would maybe, very heavy on the maybe, pay $1,700 for a high-rise downtown. I mean, floor-to-ceiling windows, you know, luxury all around. But for a 1 bedroom, 1 bath in the design district, that's criminal. Lock them up. Psych ward. They've lost their minds. These are unacceptable conditions. Now, there are several different reasons for the price increases. One of them, in my opinion, Dallas is slowly becoming the new LA, the new Atlanta. Like, there are so many people that are migrating to Dallas. It's insane, which I don't blame them. Dallas is great. I love Dallas. Also, I have a friend that's in real estate, and he's kind of been giving me some insight on why the prices have been increasing like that. So a lot of people are selling their homes because the value is like the highest it's ever been, and they're not looking into rebuying right now because it's not really a good time to buy a house right now. Everything's expensive, and they're having to rent apartments. So apartments know this. Apartments are in demand. Apartments are the hot girls right now, and there's a shortage of apartments. There's a shortage of rental units. These apartments are finessing. But on the bright side, the good thing about it is there are so many surrounding areas and surrounding like suburbs around Dallas to look into moving to. I do have a really great video kind of sharing some details about my favorite areas around Dallas. You should definitely go watch that if you're planning on moving, but I'm pretty sure you can find something cheaper. But right now, everything luxury or modern has been starting off at around $1,400 for a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Even some studios. It's crazy. It was not like that when I first moved. When I first moved, there was no problem finding a 1 bedroom, 1 bath or studio close to downtown for $1,200, dollars. Also, I'm gonna list a website right here that's really good to look at if you want more information about different areas around Dallas. This website will show you about the crime in that area, the median income, walkability, all kinds of stuff like that. So definitely take advantage of that link. And as I've stated in some of my other videos, please look into getting an apartment locator. There's not a specific one that I think is just the best or anything like that. Just simply Google apartment locators in Dallas. But they can take away some of the stress when it comes for looking for an apartment, because you can tell them your budget, your needs and wants, your non-negotiables, what you like and dislike in an apartment, where you'd like for it to be, and then they can create a list for you. If I were you, I would go to multiple apartment locators, because please keep in mind, they are only getting paid by certain apartment buildings in Dallas, so those are the only ones they show. There may be some other options out there that another apartment locator may be in cahoots with, so definitely look around. But to conclude my little section about Dallas apartments is, I just want you guys to be aware that most of the luxury modern apartments, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and studios are starting around $1,500 in Dallas, and then maybe it gets better as you move away from Dallas. The next thing I want to talk about is jobs. Now, this is something I feel like hasn't changed much since I first moved. It's so easy to find a job in Dallas. Like the staffing, between the staffing agencies and all these businesses hiring, you can find a job no problem. Like in Dallas, you could go in for an interview on Monday and then have your start date on Wednesday. It's so easy. If you're in Dallas and you don't have a job, it's simply because you don't want one. You're a bum. No, I'm just kidding. I don't like working either. Totally get it if you don't have a job. Now, the problem is finding a job that pays enough for you to live comfortably in Dallas. Majority of the jobs in Dallas that don't require a degree, they average around $15 to $23, especially with the staffing agencies. And when I first moved, that is kind of a comfortable, well, $23 an hour. You could live kind of comfortably in Dallas with that when I first moved. But now, you would definitely need a second job, especially if you have a lot of extra bills, large bills like a car note or maybe some loan payments or something like that. You're definitely going to need a second job. In my opinion, just from living in Dallas and as I've read on certain websites, you need to make at least a minimum, not need, but you should try to make at least a minimum of $57,000 a year. That's kind of pushing it. And that's only if you don't have any large bills, like I said before. Other than that, you might be cutting it pretty close, and you might be looking at getting a second job. Into more of the Dallas lifestyle, I feel like Dallas is the perfect place to reinvent yourself, to have a fresh start. There's pretty much a social club, an event, an opportunity that caters to almost all of your interests here. Like, Dallas is so diverse. There's so much to do. There's always something going on. Dallas to me is also very inspiring. Like, there are so many hustlers. Dallas to me is also very inspiring. Like, there are so many hustlers in Dallas and business-minded people in Dallas. Almost everyone here is getting money several different ways, both legal and non-legal.
From now on, don't nobody talk to me directly. You understand? You got business with me. You talk to Huey. Huey, you talk to me. You got it? All right. Damn it, never on the phone. You got it? I got it. All right.
But baby, I ain't one to judge. That ain't my business. It's probably because you need so much of it to live in Dallas and live comfortably in Dallas. And Dallas has so many food spots. So like, you want to try a new spot every weekend. But let me tell you now, the food, not the greatest. There's a few good spots, but overall, Dallas food is trash. Fight me. If you disagree, fight me. It's also really, really easy to make friends in Dallas if you put yourself out there. Almost everyone I meet in Dallas, either they just moved to Dallas or they moved, recently within the past few years. Now, that doesn't mean go out there and just try to make friends with everybody that just moved to Dallas. No, try to attend some events that interest you, that you think are going to be filled with like-minded people, so that you can make connections, genuine connections with people who are actually interested in the same things that you are interested in, and people who are like-minded, so that your friendships that you do make are compatible. I've gained such a great group of friends, mostly from social media, honestly. I made a TikTok a while ago, and I got a lot of friends out of that. We do so much together. We've traveled together. We do brunches together. We have really nice talks about goals in life. We're kind of all interested in the same things. In conclusion, I think Dallas is a really great place to live. It's extremely diverse. There's so much opportunity. There's always something to do. There's a major airport and so much space for growth. I think the best time to have moved would have been within the past 5 years. Now keep in mind what I'm about to say is totally my opinion, just based off of my experience. Remember, I moved here with nothing, like Whitney Houston, nothing. Nothing don't make me come. But yeah, I had nothing. But now in 2022, as of right now, in the current state of just apartments and jobs and, you know, just everything going on, I would not recommend moving to Dallas unless you are at least a little bit financially stable. It's not impossible to do so if you're not. Please don't let that discourage you. Just know you're gonna have to have a hustler spirit. You're gonna have a go-getter mentality. You're gonna have to persevere. And it's not impossible. You just have to know yourself. Some people, they can just up and do things like that, and you know, they have that in them. And then some people, they need more time, more preparation. They need to have those finances secured just so they feel better. Me, I like to hustle. I like to kind of like grind, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't mind going and get it out the mud. But some people, they don't want to do that. I try to have as little bills as possible. So right now, the only thing I have is a phone bill. And that's because, if you don't know, I have a full-time traveling job this year. So I gave up my apartment in Dallas in February, this past February. So I don't have rent anymore, don't have a light bill, don't have a water bill, don't have a cable bill, don't have a Wi-Fi bill. I basically did this to stack up and save so that when I move back to Dallas, you know, things are even better. I have a few other places that I do want to try to live for like a year, at least a year, before I plant my stakes in Dallas. But I do want to return to Dallas. Like, that's definitely where I want to make my home at. But you know, I want to try living in Miami. I want to try living in Houston, maybe New York. I want to try living abroad too. I just feel like we're so young, and it's kind of insane to think that we're supposed to pick one thing to do for the rest of our lives when we are capable of having so many interests and so many talents. Until you've given yourself the opportunity to explore all of your interests and explore all of your talents, I feel like you never really know what you want to do. Most people, I feel like they kind of just settle, you know, for either not the easiest thing, but sometimes people settle for the safest thing. And that's what I'm trying not to do. I'm trying to give all of my dreams, all of my interests, and all of my passions a shot, which may sound like a lot to some people, but if you have ADD, you know what you feel me. You feel me. You might not be doing it, but you feel me, because you've had this thought before. So I do want to try some other things before returning to Dallas. So you never know, I might post a video next week talking about I'm moving to Miami. You just never know with me. But I love Dallas. I highly recommend, if you have the opportunity to move to Dallas, if the timing is right, if the money is right, do it. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you know, let me know what you want some more videos of. I've been gone for so long. I'm ready to get back into the swing of things. I've gotten used to this job a little bit, so I'm ready to make some content. Okay, and I got this iPad, so my life is I'm gonna get my life together.
I'm outside in an AMG, right outside. PT, two-turn, baby girl, you know.